Hey, yo, testing, is this thing on? Breaking news. It is now being reported that Gervonta Davis is going to get his next assignment. A black fighter by the name of Frank Martin, where Errol Spence, hey, start that cat, man down. Man down promotions, Derek James' gym. Wow, what a fight. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. It is now being reported from ESPN and others that Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis, a.k.a. Abdul Wahid, is going to be fighting Frank Martin sometime during the summer. Now, as of me recording this video, this has not been confirmed by anybody. And I got to stress that because when we're talking about Tank Davis, the face of boxing, when we're talking about Canelo Alvarez, the alternate face of boxing, it's between those two people. And at the end of the day, there's been so much speculation, so much opinion, so much conjecture, so many people doing fake detective work and guesswork and things like that, to the point of who these guys are going to be fighting, that I really don't feel safe until I hear it from the fighter. Boxing has proven to be corrupt. Boxing has proven to be unreliable, or actually, I can't even say boxing. Some of the people in boxing have proven to me to be treacherous. Like, you see a bunch of YouTube content creators and these video drops, and it's about stuff you've never even heard of. No one else is reporting the same storylines. You have people doing a bunch of guesswork. You have people who are lying. You have people who are paid off. Whatever their situation is, it is looking very treacherous. So really, I will not be happy as a content creator and boxing journalist until I hear it from the horse's mouth, Gervonta Davis, Frank Martin. However, if you guys follow me on Instagram, and if you're not, you should, at Boxingego1, I had just posted this Ego Weight Watchers of Frank Martin, and he's looking dialed in. He looks like he's training hard, right? And he looks brolic. He's been training like a monster for some reason, right? He just looks like he's training like viciously, right? And I've been keeping tabs on it and keeping an eye on it. I've seen Gervonta Davis, who's doing his training, etc. So I'm like, okay, something's up. Frank Martin also dropped some clues like, I got the call and I'm coming back soon and things like that. So if he got the Tank Davis fight, that's huge. And that's a big fight. Big fight. So if this news gets confirmed, I'm going to be very happy for Frank Martin, because that's one thing I've seen about PBC. The great thing about PBC is if you know your role and you play your role and you stay patient and you keep doing your thing, preferably winning. But even if you don't win, but you put up a valiant effort, the opportunities will come. We've seen it previously. Guys like Sean Porter, he didn't necessarily win all of his fights. Some of them were razor thin and close, but he still kept getting opportunities. He was fighting Kell Brook, lost to Kell Brook, and then he has bounce back opportunities to fight Adrian Broner, the Problem, the Can Man. He had opportunities later to fight Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, and then Errol Spence as well, and Ugas. So when you're a fighter in that same cloth, win, lose, or draw with PBC, they'll bring you back. And I really like that, because I really look at some of these other promotions, and as soon as they lose, like a fighter loses, sometimes the promotions drop the fighter, or they just really play the background in a tremendous way. And it's almost like you don't even hear about them anymore. Like the top ranked dude that kept bringing the pillow, Greer, I think his name was. I don't even know what's up with his career. Like, he had this whole like little gimmick with the pillow and putting people to sleep. And I can't even tell you when the last time he fought is. I don't know if he's with Top Rank. He just almost disappeared. So I like that PBC does that. Whether you win, lose, or draw, as long as you're being patient, the opportunities will come. And that's what happened with Frank Martin. He took the other challenges like the Artem Harutyunyan, A lot of people criticized that performance. I thought he clearly won the fight. He almost stopped the man. That was a Olympian as well, and he battered his face in. And he took the dangerous fight with the fake Ali dude, Michel Rivera, and Frank Martin's just kind of been paving that way. Errol Spence helping guide him in his career and things like that. Same thing with Gervonta Davis. This is a rightful move. Gervonta Davis just fought Ryan Garcia, did $1 million plus. He then had some legal trouble that sidelined him, and Gervonta Davis has taken the rest of 2023 off after that moment, had to sit down, 60 days in jail, then be on some kind of GPS monitoring, ankle monitor, and it looks like that recently came off. I did a video about that, which is why you, as a boxing fan, need to subscribe to me, because I made a video about all these things to keep you guys in line and keep you guys up to date with what's going on in the world of boxing. So Gervonta Davis, he looks like he's a free man again. He can move around freely, no ankle monitor. I'm hoping this news is true, and the only reason I'm saying hope is because as of me recording this video, I'm promptly recording the video and we haven't heard from Gervonta Davis yet. Now, as a longtime fan of both fighters, Frank Martin and obviously Gervonta Davis, the face of boxing, this is a great fight, great stylistic matchup. Gervonta Davis can box, he can bang, he's a complete fighter, and he's a superstar. So anytime he steps in the ring, he has something to lose because he is the superstar. Some people, he's entered that Floyd Mayweather realm where some people want to support you and they love you, but then there are a fraction of fans that they're paying hoping you lose and they don't miss out on it. Frank Martin is a very dangerous opponent. He's technical, he's a southpaw, and he's a black fighter, which we'll get to in a second. And in addition to that, he's just patient. He picks his shots well, and he's undefeated. Taking a fighter's O is always harder. When you have an undefeated fighter, I've always heard it. I forgot exactly what boxer said it, but they don't know how to lose. That fighter doesn't know how to lose. They've never tasted defeat. Not saying as an amateur they didn't taste the defeat, but if they're a pro fighter, they're going to be as confident as they're going to be with that unblemished record. So Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis both being undefeated, somebody's O has to go. It's an incredible fight. And let's talk about some of the negative Nancy's. Let's talk about some of the haters. You had so many people speculating as to who Gervonta Davis would be fighting. You had people who were lying. People at times have said Gervonta Davis is fighting Abner Mares. He's fighting Campbell Hatton. You had people who said, oh, he's fighting Conor Benn. And a lot of these idiots, they push fake narratives for clickbait and make content knowing that it's a wasted content. This is not evergreen content like the Conor Benn situation. I very rarely will make multiple videos about stuff that I know is definite cap. Like, people got gassed because Conor Benn was calling out Gervonta Davis and Eddie Hearn was talking about, oh, we sent him an offer. I ain't making videos about that. I knew exactly in my head that Tank was trolling them. Conor Benn's a welterweight. He should be fighting people who are welterweights. Fight Jaron Ennis or whoever else that the UK has to offer or whatever. And that's that. You think the A side gets offered to by Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn? But again, you have people who amplify these stupid fake narratives. And then when Eddie Hearn does an interview, oh, Tank Davis turned down our offer. Tank Davis doesn't want to fight Conor Benn. And Conor Benn's like, leave me alone. Never mention my name again. People buy it. Oh, Tank's ducking. And then all to look stupid because Gervonta Davis already had a fight that was likely in negotiations. And it's a quality fight and it's a dangerous fight. Now, another thing that people said, we're just going through the list, people. Buckle up, get your popcorn, brush your teeth, and you're now rocking with ego. The other thing people said was Gervonta Davis is afraid of black fighters. I've heard it all. They said, oh, Tank Davis, he doesn't want to fight against technical or slick black fighters. He's afraid of black fighters. I mean, what can they say now? All the Tank haters who perpetuated these lies if he fights Frank Martin, because Frank Martin embodies, he's dark skinned, you know what I'm saying? So he's black for show. He's a slick fighter, and he's a southpaw, and he has power, and he's explosive, and he has a great team and trainer with Derek James and, you know, a support system with Errol Spence. He's always in shape, right? He had an amateur career. He sparred with Tank. Tank and Frank Martin have sparred in the past, so whatever they were able to pick up from each other with that. And it's a great everything on the line type of fight. And he's been making his path with great fights like Michelle Rivera was real impressive, and the Artem Harutunian, right? So he's had these explosive victories and wins, and he just keeps on trucking. And now this is moment to get a big fight. So where's all the people who are saying that Tank don't want to fight black fighters? This is the same thing that they did to try to embarrass Floyd Mayweather or make it look like Floyd was ducking smoke. They said Floyd didn't want to fight southpaws. Floyd didn't want to fight black fighters. And then he fought a Shane Mosley and he beat him. He beat Alberto, an explosive power guy at the time, and stuff like that. So it just sounds laughable to hear what people make up. Now, the other thing that I find very interesting is the fact that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney just got confirmed for New York. Now, I don't know where this Tank fight would take place, but it's in or around the same time period. Like Devin Haney and Ryan are going to fight late April, and this fight is slated to happen in the summer, like possibly like June, right? So that's going to be interesting if the fact that Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney got announced yesterday for the Barclays Center in New York, and then now we hear this leak about Tank's fight and Tank's fight with Frank Martin. That means Tank's fight is a little bit further out, so you got plenty of time to promote. And I've already talked about this. I feel like Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight has been a little bit, it's like they almost hastily put it out, and they have less time with the fight happening April 20th. Some elements of it seem disorganized. Like people don't know if it's on pay-per-view. You know, at least per the flyer, there's information that people are confused about. Some people even left me comments saying they bought tickets round trip to go to Vegas, thinking the fight was going to be in Vegas because that's where it was reported to be, and then now find out it's happening in New York. So there's little things like that versus when Tank Davis's next fight gets confirmed, I'm pretty sure the information will come out cleanly. It'll be nice and smooth. Flyers, they'll do a press conference, and you know, they'll resume training. You'll have the date. You're not gonna guess, like if it's in Vegas or if it's in Texas or wherever the fight's at, it's not gonna be no guesswork or location changes or anything like that. That's not even how PBC does business. They kind of just drop the mic and walk away. Now, lastly, since we're talking about the haters, we got to talk about this. When it comes to the haters, there are going to be some people that somehow, some way try to continue to hate on Gervonta Davis and somehow suggest that this is a bad fight, that the Frank Martin, you know, who is he, or is going to do bad pay-per-views, or this is what old media is famous for, especially with PBC fighters and black fighters. They'll put out a poll like how many guys are going to order this fight. They'll try to guesstimate the live gate and the pay-per-view buy rate. And some people are going to even try to convince you that this isn't a good fight. So to all the people who are going to try to act like this is a terrible fight or a bad fight and all that, the easy counter is this. Shakur Stevenson was rumored, and then it was even announced that he was fighting against Frank Martin just last year. And everybody loved the fight. Shakur is a top talent. He's a silver medalist and Olympian, and everybody was gassed about the fight. Then they started picking sides, like who was to blame, because it was said that the money wasn't right and the fight didn't come into fruition. So that doesn't even make sense. How did everybody love the fight when Shakur was about to fight Frank Martin, but then some of those same people will now flip it and try to act like this is a bad fight now that Gervonta Davis got the fight with the PBC fighter. But when a top-ranked fighter like Shakur Stevenson was in talks, or it was rumored that he was going to be fighting against Frank Martin, the PBC fighter, everybody loved it. So You know the haters gonna hate. At the end of the day, I find it funny. Shout out to Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin. I can't wait for an official announcement. Let me know what you guys think. YouTube will now show you some more videos so you can catch up with all your boxing news.